Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lennon. How you guys doing? And welcome to something a little bit different again. So lately we've been having a lot of fun with the Let's Plays and all that sort of stuff. But something bothered me that I wanted to do for quite some time, and finally I got some time to make this work. So welcome to my top 5 of the best overhaul mods that Rome 2 has to offer. So in this video, I'm not going to drag it out too long, but I'm just going to give you a quick summary of my top 5 of the mods that I enjoy most in Total War Rome 2, and why, a bit of pro, bit of cons, and then we'll see what you guys think of it as well. So if you agree with me, put it in the comments. If you have a different top 5, put it in there as well. And by all means, do leave a like on the channel and on the video itself. It's greatly appreciated, and do subscribe. And without waiting any longer, let's get straight into number 5. So at number 5 we have the Age of Bronze. This is a very new mod that has been released somewhere around August of 2023, a little bit prior to Total War Pharaoh releasing actually. And it is a great mod. I haven't showcased this on the channel just yet, but if you guys do want me to showcase it on the channel in the Let's Play, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. As an Age of Bronze basically tells you what it is, we are playing a little bit like Pharaoh. We're playing in the Egypt region, in the west of the eastern part of the map. As of right now, there are 2 factions playable in the campaign, which is Egypt and which is Hatti, which I believe is over here. So I don't have the highest amount of hours in this mod. But the mod, you can see it spreads from here till we just get Illyria and Greece with it, and it basically involves around the Bronze Age. You can already see the artwork is very nice. The cities look a little bit different. The buildings look different. They have fully overhauled the building trees, the tech tree, and you can see military buildings as well. Unit cards are all the way over there. We have chariots, we have archers, we have pharaohs, foot guard, we have good units. Everything is overhauled, so it is a great new experience. Tech wise, everything is different as well. Everything has its own unique traits, I would say. And just the general artwork of this mod is incredible. Like, if you look at this, we have the whole, you can see MMS here. we are already at war with Kush, so it has a little bit of flow, and there might be some inaccuracies still yet to in the mod, but as I said, it's been out since August 2023, so we have a very active mod team with a very active Q&A in the Steam Workshop, so by all means go check out this mod. The only downside on this mod for right now is that it does not have the biggest replayability, because it's only have 2 factions, Egypt and Kush. In custom battle there are already a lot more factions, more than I can name and pronounce, but they are most certainly building up to releasing more playable factions in the future. However, they didn't have any dates or like a timeline schedule for that just yet. So that is one of the reasons why I'm putting this mod at mod number 5. With that being said, let's get straight into number 4. So continuing with number 4, we have New World. New World is a mod that is focused a little bit around partially staying the vanilla way, but partially doing it a lot better. So as you can see straight away from this screenshot or this map, is that the artwork is exceptionally beautiful. You can see the cities are beautiful. We have some extra settlements here and there, and like building wise, the buildings are mostly the same, although they do give different things, you know what I mean. Unit cards mostly stay the same as well. but there's a lot of variety in the factions you can play. Like nearly all the factions are available for you to play as. And the funny part where this comes in is New World is a little bit of an alternate reality of history. So it first started out as being like a mod pack for factions and reskins. So there's a lot of focus on artwork and also reskins of the units, how they look in battle, the reskin of positions and like the shield walls, the phalanxes, like that sort of artwork has been really improved in this mod. And also there are some factions that you wouldn't see in the normal historical Total War. As you can see over here, yes, we have a faction called Atlantis, which in my opinion is actually pretty fucking cool. They even have their own culture. I just cannot select it real quick. As we can see, no, they're still Punic, so they have a lot of different stuff going for them over here, which makes it a really interesting playable mod. As with all the factions that you can play, there are a lot of different factions have their different sides of alternate reality, so a bit historical, bit fictional, which makes it a little bit more interesting if you're also in the kind like the Troy mythic kind of approach. As you can see, we have also new factions that weren't here before. So we have Neuragic Confederation, and instead of the we have Etruria over here. We have some new different called settlements over here. We have an extra settlement over here. I've played a bit of a campaign here in the British Isles, which was very challenging as well. So AI did get a bit of a buff in here. Generals, like, they behave a little bit different. So with all in all, that makes it for me a very solid top 4 spot. Like, on the top of my mind, I don't really have gigantic downsides to this mod. The reason it is not higher is probably maybe also that I don't have like 500 hours played in this mod. So this would still be a mod I would very much like to diversify myself in and put on the channel in due time. So if you do want to see a New World campaign on the channel, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. So with that being said, let's get into the top 3. Okay, so here we are. Finally, we're starting to get somewhere in the top 3. And on the 3rd place, a solid 3rd place, is Parabellum. You guys have seen me play this mod quite a bit on the channel. And I think it deserves a solid 3rd place on the list. Parabellum displays itself a little bit as the Vanilla Plus mod, but I do find that it's a lot more than Vanilla Plus. As you can see from right here already, this part might look a little bit as you're used to, but the artwork in itself in the campaign is amazing. If you look at this, all the building cards, all the cards, details, it's just really good, really beautiful. It really gives you a more immersion into the campaign, I feel like. Same as for this, the trades, the artwork is just really nice. It really gives it a nice feel to the mod as well. On the practical side, this mod is great. It's challenging, it is expanded on most of the good parts of Total War Rome 2. And like DUI, it included the region and populations stuff, which at first is maybe a little bit hard to wrap your head around, especially because like the troops that they have over here. Let me find an army. I was supposed to have an army here somewhere. They all have, like, first of all, they have different names, like regional names, which can be quite hard. But if you can see, like the Gundi Nizagan, and like I have no idea what these are. So the first couple of times I played this, I was like, okay, I just recruit some troops. But then they added this stuff like the Holistic Levy Pikes, like the subtitles of the subpart to it, which made it actually a lot more fun and playable. And with the population growth, it is an interesting mechanic to see. I feel like it's holding you back from rapid expansion, because in newly conquered territories you can't just raise a new army and just move on. So you have to either recruit local levies or build another army in your home territory where you have the right population, the right people to recruit the units from, and then move them all the way to the front line where you need them. So otherwise, everything has its own little touch. The aesthetics, the tech tree has different, how do you call it? Different traits. Like everything is a little bit different than the base game, which makes this, in certain, yes, a vanilla plus mod. It takes a vanilla and it makes everything a little bit better. And that's why I find this mod taking a solid third place. It's really good for its thing, you know. It really does its thing. Well, downsides of this mod, honestly I don't really know. The mod can be quite challenging, especially when you start out as one of these smaller factions. AI tends to be a little bit more aggressive, builds up pretty quickly, pretty large stacks, so you will be fighting a lot of battles outnumbered. So be aware of that, that there's a certain extra challenge in there. But other than that, it's a very stable mod. I found myself, I barely had any crashes with this mod, maybe one in all the time that I played it. So it's a very stable mod. It's a very decent mod. It looks beautiful. Unit cards, battles look epic. So all in all, I think it's well deserved third place. With that being said, let's get into our final top 2. So coming in at a close second place, number 2 is Total War 1100 AD. And honestly, the top 3 is so, like I said, is so close together with all of that. But at the top 2, I would say number 2 would be 1100 AD. Total War Rome 2 1100 AD is a fantastic mod if you are up for the challenge. 1100 AD sets this in the time period of the medieval times, 1100 AD around and about, which brings a whole set of new challenges with it as for the mod team as well. They have done mountains and mountains and mountains of work to make this the mod that we deserve to have. That is basically one thing I want to say. But artwork looks exceptionally beautiful. They actually managed somehow to change the icons of the city to actual castles and represent how the towns look. So every city, if you see here on the map with a walled city, has walls around it. And you can see over here we have a city without the walls. So actually on the map it represents if the city has walls or not. And as you can see, it's medieval times, so most of the cities that are on the map are walled settlements, which exceptionally insane garrison stacks. So one of the challenges you will face in 1100 AD is a very hard AI, which can be brutal, rough economy set up first, weather changes dynamically like with the turn set, but the winter is absolutely crushing. So as you can see, this is one of the campaigns I finished. I'm in turn 215. This is my empire. As the Duchy of Normandy, I started with only this province over here. And I had conquered the whole British Isles and most of this part. And nearly every winter turn, I still ran a food deficit and a money deficit. So even with this big of an empire, for now at winter, I'm still minus 7,000 income. So where you would expect a normal game to start steamrolling, 1100 AD tries to do that and then grabs you by the balls. So with 1100 AD, they have these really cool storylines coming in, like the random events. So we have a lot of raiding factions. So as you can see on the map over here, the Norse raiders start coming in like every 10, 15 turns. Sometimes a little bit quicker, sometimes a little bit slower. Which basically means you have a 20 stack on a boat just in your lands. And they do that with Saracen raiders somewhere like over here. You have them over here, you have them over here. Like there are 4 or 5 or 6 spots where just at random times, random 20 stacks start to spawn. So once you feel safe in England and you start moving your armies away, there could be a Norse expedition of a 20 stack coming in here trying to fuck up your shit. Which makes this mod very interesting, kind of tough, sometimes even a little bit unfair in my opinion. For example, in this campaign, the one time I started making good money, I had a turn where I had like finally got like 11k, and a random event popped up where I needed to pay 10k to the Pope, or otherwise everybody which in Europe would basically hate me and declare war on me. So the one time you feel good about yourself in this campaign, you're gonna get kicked in the ass, which is a marvelous idea if you're up for the challenge. So the downside of this mod is it can be pretty fucking tough. It can be really tough to start out with 20 stack garrisons, with 20 stack armies that you need to deal with. So on the attack, you're always gonna have to be either bringing a 40 stack or fighting it outnumbered. You have to do good economy style. You have to be good at the game for this mod to be enjoyable, if I say it that way. But all in all, this is a great mod. If you want to have a challenge, I would definitely recommend this mod. As you can see, I've been playing it a ton on the channel. I've been giving it a rest for a little bit right now, but hopefully in the near future, we will definitely have some more time and space to start up a new campaign with this mod. So, with this being number 2, you guys probably know by now since we have the top 4 covered. But let's move on to the final and the big number 1 on the list. But quickly, we interrupt this top 5 with a couple of honorable mentions. How do you like my announcer voice with that? So, no, I just want to make a quick couple of honorable mentions to a couple of mods which should be pretty high on the list but just didn't make my list. And that includes like the Radius mod, the Wars of the Gods, and in my opinion, Constantine Rise of Christianity as well. I played almost all the mods. I played them on stream once or twice, but it's just the fact that they not made this list is mostly because I don't have the personal playtime to really build up these mods to how great they are. So I can tell you a little bit about them, but I can't do them justice by just trying to tell you what it is without having played it to its fullest extent. So that's why there are a couple of honorable mentions here and there. If you do think I missed some, please let me know down in the comments down below. And with that being said, let's get on to our final number 1. And then finally, here we are on a solid number 1 place. As you probably would have guessed, it's DEY, or better known as Divide et Impera, which is one of the biggest overhaul mods that Rome 2 has seen till this day. I can explain a lot of the backstory, but most of you will know DEY. So I'm just gonna keep it short, keep it quick. The reason why, in my opinion, DEY takes the first place instead of like second or third, and I gotta say it was a close call between this and Parabellum. because where Parabellum has its nice touches in the artwork of the buildings and the units and the faction stuff and all this, DIY has it in its unit variety. And of course you can say Parabellum has its variety in units as well, but just the fact that DIY's units are, in my opinion, a lot more diverse and just more stylish, makes it for me that it's just that little bit of one-up. Also, it's one of the first mods that made use of like the whole new population building population stuff, where you have levies you can build and you need to diversify your population, you need to build up everything. And it's just a great mod, a lot of replayability. It has its own unique features like some of this stuff, and I don't know if I can get it back, but if you click on major settlements like Alexandria, you get the whole information about it, like Pergamon, maybe, yeah, like this. If you get like head cities, it counts for roads as well: Pergamon, Athens, Sparta, Rome, Carthage. Like there's a lot of detail in the mod itself. And over here we have, for example, roads, which I now realize is being a little bit blocked by my camera, but if you get the idea, Alexandria, all those head cities have their own descriptions, and as well, I don't see any event messages now, but there is a lot of history that they're pulling in here as well. So if an end turn happens, you can see the history of major factions, major milestones of factions during this period of time. So all in all, with that being said, I think DIY places itself just barely, but on a good first place. The reason I haven't played this a lot on the channel is because I felt like it was a bit overplayed. Like everybody knows DIY and everybody knows DIY is great. But me revisiting it here on the channel in the past few weeks has made me realize on how good this mod is for Total War Rome 2. So if you have the ability to buy Rome 2, get it for cheap. Fuck it, don't even get it for the base game, get it for the mods, get it for the Overhaul mods. It will be definitely worth it. Downsides, it's a challenge, but it's a good challenge. It's a really fun mod, well worth it to put your time into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, nearly small video 20 minutes later, here we are at the end of my top 5. So I hope you guys can enjoy the little broad and stupid descriptions I gave to why I think these mods deserve their place in my top 5. And like I said at the start, if you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree with me, let me know also. Don't roast me too hard in the comments, please. Be nice, be gentle. By all means, do, if you enjoyed it, do leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. We are well on our way to passing every single milestone I set, so I'm not going to set any new ones because I'm probably crushing them anyway. But let's get something fun done for the end of the year. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.